their performance when I started to notice a trend. Um, Over the last few days, um, I started to see um, a downward trend on some of my income for some of my Facebook ads from the back end, right? So I began to examine to try to figure out what was going on, and I noticed that uh, when I started this project again, I wanted to show you guys how to do this on a lean budget. Um, so I paused some of my desktop ads and just let my high performing mobile ads run, and then I could see that there was like a downward trend in my income. And then I went back to figure out when the downward trend happened in my income, and that started when I cut desktop off. So again, um, everything about marketing is really just about paying attention to your numbers, right? So you want to stay on top of your numbers. You want to be paying attention to trends. You want to pay attention to what's going on in your business. So I reactivated desktop today, um, one desktop ad, and then my conversion rate on the back end offer started to increase. Um, so again, I'm going to continue to run obviously desktop now that I noticed how important it was as far as conversions, even though it's costing me more per lead to acquire a lead. The leads that are actually coming in from desktop are converting at a higher rate than the ones that are converting at mobile, and obviously uh, that's a lot of factors play into that. Um, so again, we've been talking a lot about demographics. So one of the things that you have to think about when you're marketing to certain demographics, like one of the demographic that I'm as a whole that I'm going after, which is African American females. Um, Predominantly the ones who are coming in, who are opting in, are around 18 to like 30, uh, and they're coming from places. And I can show you guys this in Aweber. This is the cool thing about Aweber. So 1,200 leads so far today. Um, 100 unsubscribes. And that's because I did send out a broadcast message today to my leads, right? So the whole purpose of this project is to be able to send traffic, and so I sent 1,200 clicks to an offer, and again, I got 2 complaints. But remember, I'm sending out to a list of 20,000 subscribers that I built over the last 21 days or so using this strategy. And the two key metrics, right, or key performance indicators that you want to look at, right? So KPIs. Um, you want to keep your unsubscribes. And again, I said this the other day. Keep your unsubscribes under 0.5%, right, for unsubscribes. Um, that's one of the biggest performance indicators. And then again, for spam complaints, which you are going to get, right? Um, you want to keep this one complaint for every 1,000 emails. Right? So those are the two biggest performance indicators when you're doing email marketing using this strategy. So again, I drove some clicks to an offer and I made money. But let's go up here. We're going to look at the stats. So far today, I've earned $404. Again, some of this came from the email broadcast, and then some of this is from me adding desktop. As you can see, earlier in the month, where I was testing things out, again, my average conversion rate on this offer was around 23%, 24%. And then I started to, around here is when I increased my budget on desktop, and I should have known this, right? I increased my budget on desktop and mobile, so obviously more desktop traffic was coming here, and my actual conversion rate increased, even though I was sending less clicks. My conversion rate increased, But then around here is when our class started. So I cut desktop off, and then the conversion rate decreased on the actual offer. So looking at that trend, I went back and so now I'm sitting to desktop, and now my conversion rate is going back up on the offer. So again, you want to pay attention to your numbers because that's important. Now, what I was going to show you guys here in Aweber is, again, I've never really seen people talk about the reports too much on a training course. But the cool thing about the reports, right? So I'm here under my campaign, on my main campaign. What we're gonna look at is the city, state, and countries in the reporting tabs. So basically, this is gonna give you a geographic profile of where most of your leads are coming from. So as you can see, the top place that most of my leads are coming from are Chicago, Houston, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Tampa. Now, this is important because of the fact that as you're scaling out this process, again, let's say if we're all direct response marketers, right? Let's say that you have an overwhelming majority of traffic coming from a specific area. You're running a campaign and you've seen you're getting massive amount of conversions from a particular area. Maybe you want to just focus on a particular area. So Chicago, Houston, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, these are top performing cities, right? And again, if we look at add up all the other cities that are doing well here, so these are the top cities that are doing well. When I went here the other day, just to look at the data to see where my leads were coming from, again, most of these cities that have a high urban population or African American population, some of these are actually some of the lower socioeconomic places that African Americans live, right? So understanding that, right, and this is why this is a key for insights, is if you're driving 100% mobile traffic, right, which I had started to do, one of the most important things that's going to happen, again, and this course is not about mobile marketing, but one of the things that you're going to discover as you start to advertise on mobile is that the type of phone that you market on or market to is going to play a dramatic impact on performance of your ads. Right? So every carrier, every cell phone carrier is going to convert differently on the ad. Every type of phone is going to convert different. Right? And then the most important thing, again, understanding my demographic of people that I was marketing to, that as I began to think about it today, and one of the biggest reasons I went back and added desktop back to the campaign was understanding this, right? So understanding, let's say if you're a person, you're just a common sense thinker, right? You're thinking about people in a lower socioeconomic status. Typically, they're not going to have the best phone possible. Right? Some of these people are going to be on phones what are called feature phones. Right? So the browsing capabilities are going to be limited. Right? The functionality of what they can do on the web from their phone is going to be limited, right? So this is super important, right? Understanding your demographic. So let's just say, again, if I was in my mobile campaign that I'm doing for golf, maybe I want to go into my Facebook ads account and only target iPhone users, right? So this is something to think about, right? Or I want to target like a Samsung Galaxy users, right? Or I want to target by carrier, right? Someone who uses iPhone, who has AT&T service, right? So these are some of the advanced things that you want to think about, especially as you advance and separate your campaigns and really build big on Facebook or any advertising platform, for that matter, is the type of device that you're actually marketing to. And typically, you will hear a lot of advertisers who specialize in mobile. Uh, Again, I'm not a mobile expert, but I know a little bit about it. Typically, you will hear like a lot of experts talk about how you would typically want to, if you're going to exclusively target on mobile, you want to target a higher end device, right? So that means that typically the person has the capability of spending money, and then you usually want to target a service like AT&T, which has like a higher premium um, billing, right? Um, so there are other phones that are lower quality phones that will let you pay as you go, right? And I'm sure they have pay as you go options for every type of phone now. But again, you'll see them and more so in the lower end phones. So typically, again, if you're going to be like 100% mobile, then you want to start thinking about like the higher end phones, marketing to higher end phones, and marketing to services that have like a higher premium monthly billing, because there's one thing that that person has, is the ability to spend at least $100 to $200 per month um, on, on things that they need, right? So that they're a buyer of some sort. Right. So again, there's a couple of great courses on mobile marketing. I'm not going to get into it too much, but again, this was a lot of my thinking today when I added mobile. I mean, when I added back desktop. Well, I was thinking about all uh, these intricacies. So later on, possibly in the future, I'm going to go in and um, advance my campaign and device target uh, accordingly. But again, this is just in a super advanced tip that I want to give you guys just to think about. That I don't really see a lot of people talk about, especially when they talk about Facebook. A lot of Facebook's traffic is mobile driven. So again, um, in the future, this is going to be one of the biggest things, one of the biggest um, uh, discoveries or breakthroughs, that if you master and you truly understand it, then all your Facebook campaigns for the most part will be profitable if you understand this element, right? So I'm not really going to get into too much about mobile, but there's a cool mobile tracking software out there. It's called iMobi Tracks, that basically will tell you which devices perform best on your offers. You can track all the way down to the device, the carrier, the browser level, so that when you build out campaigns in the future, that you can specifically see which phones or devices are performing best for you for the traffic that's coming in from mobile. So, so this is one tip. Think about the carrier. Think about the devices that you're coming in. If the backend offers don't support, so another thing. So, if your backend offer is not mobile responsive, and all that means is if the offer means responsive, is does it adjust uh, for every type of device? Like, can the page detect and adjust um, that it's being displayed on iPad, or can it detect and adjust its sizing settings if it's on a Samsung Galaxy, or um, a Note, or on every type of mobile device, right? So the Windows-based tablets or whatever, you know what I mean? Um, Basically, again, you want to focus, if you're going to be using mobile as your traffic source. Also, you want to focus, is the backend responsive, mobile responsive? So that's going to play a dramatic impact on your conversions and if you actually make money with this process, right? So um, focus on your numbers, making sure that again everything is continually to go up in an upward trend, and if it's going down in a downward trend, then you want to pay attention to your numbers and figure out why, right? So another insight again, we talked about your key performance indicators for email are these, right? Making sure that your subscribers are unsubscribe rate is under 0.5%. Your spam complaints is one out of every 1,000 emails. So more on the email subject. I know that I'm jumping around from subject to subject, but this stuff is important as it comes to my brain. One of the things that I do personally and have done over the last 8 years to keep my spam complaints low. This is going to sound super counterintuitive. Why it's a super advanced strategy is mail more often, right? So the way to decrease your spam complaints is to mail more often, right? So again, the reason why you want to do this is it's going to flush off the complainers early, and it's going to condition your list to how you mail, right? So let's say that you start mailing your list. You only mail your list once a month, right? And then all of a sudden you start mailing them once a week, right? They're gonna start to like, whoa, why are you emailing me so much, right? So it's like you set the conditions early, right? Right? People are for the most part followers, right? So if you tell them, hey, I'm gonna send you cool stuff every day, um, then they're gonna comply to that, right? So you determine how well your email is gonna perform. You're gonna determine how compliant how many complaints that you get by making sure that again you set the constraints early and the conditions early. Like, hey, I'm gonna mail you every day, or I'm gonna mail you every 2 days, or I'm gonna do this. You set the tone of how you're gonna email and be religious about it, right? So again, this doesn't mean you pitch them every day, but again, whatever you decide that you want to do for your business, whether that's emailing once a day or once every other day, you set that condition early with your list. And again, the more often that you do it, the less spam complaints that you're going to get because your list is going to be conditioned to receive emails from you. And the people who complain are going to complain anyway, and so so you want them off your list as soon as possible. And then the next big thing is grow your list as fast as possible, because again, the larger your list, the more complaints that you're able to have. Without it affecting your account. Right? So again, the smaller your list is, the more in jeopardy your account can be, because again, every little spam complaint hurts you, right? So again, you want to try and grow your list as fast as possible, which is going to go into our next subject. It's just looking at my numbers today. I'm noticing that for like every $100 to $150 that I spend, I get on average, right? So again, could be less, could be more. Like so far today, I've only spent $90 so far. So for me, on average, Every $100 to $150 I spend, I get on average 1,000 leads, right? So if you're just starting out with this, again, you want to try and shoot for, $150 in ad spend. Again, that's why I said that on the sales letter. You need at least $150 to use this method. Um, you want to shoot to have your to get your leads lower than to around $150 for every thousand leads that you get, right? Because again, that way, again, no matter what type of offer you promote on the back end, you should be able to recoup your investment on the back end. If you're split testing offers and truly understand your target market, right? So these are the insights and discoveries that I came up with in the last like 24 hours that are really going to take your campaigns to the next level. So again, if you understand, you have the proper expectations of what to expect. You're looking at your numbers every single day. You're understanding the impact of mobile and desktop. You're promoting to your list. You're getting the complainers off your list, and you're paying attention to the trends and the key performance indicators and the metrics in your business. Then you're going to be able to have success with this process. So is this solid stuff? All right, Cher says, yep, makes sense. Roy says, yes. Richard says, yes. Okay, cool. Um, so Hudson says, did you check and see if all your offers are mobile friendly? I didn't necessarily get the chance to check to see if they're all mobile responsive today. I just made sure that I added desktop to combat the clicks that are coming in that are not, if for any instance that it's not mobile responsive. I know my landing page is mobile responsive. Um, that it looks fine on desktop on mobile. I didn't necessarily get a chance to check the actual offer, but again, since I noticed that I've changed it back to desktop, and just looking at the numbers, it's started to convert. The conversion rate starts to go up. So as you can see, 24% today, as opposed to the last couple of days were 16%, 14%, 18%, 19%. Today, 24%. Right? Any other questions? And again, like this was like a game changer for me. Again, I've never really uh, seen anyone really talk about the city, state, country level, like going into reporting and really uh, trying to make sense of that it pertains to their email marketing um, campaigns. But again, all the stuff is that I'm giving you guys is solid gold. So Richard says, so generally speaking, desktop converts better and mobile is cheaper. Uh, uh, yeah, for the most part, I would say yeah, mobile is going to be cheaper. Um, However, desktop typically is going to convert better depending on the offer. Again, if the offer is 100% mobile, then obviously desktop is not even going to be a viable traffic source. So again, I mean, if the offer is predominantly desktop driven, then yeah, desktop is going to convert better. Richard says, I thought on Facebook you could only target by Android internet operating system, not by phone carrier. Uh, yeah, there's some advanced ways to get around it. Again, you're gonna end up using like the purchase behavior stuff Also, you're gonna use a mobile tracking platform to separate your clicks. Yeah, iMobi tracks. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. So again, another thing that I noticed is today, because I added back desktop, so I lowered. One thing that I did, I lowered uh my daily spin on one of my ads. So my top performing ad, which is here, um, I lowered the daily spin by $10. And again, because this was like my highest performing um, ad, as you can see yesterday, 2,292 post engagements. With today lowering it by $10. Again, we're not through the whole entire day, so I won't know the final number. But again, lowering it the budget by $10 had um, impact on the number of leads that I uh, I generate today. So again, budgeting, like knowing all your numbers and paying attention to all your numbers is going to be important. So tomorrow, I'm going to raise this. Probably end up raising, depending on where we end at today, for engagements. I'm going to probably end up raising this back $10 on a daily budget. Again, I never try to mess with the daily budget after 4 p.m. because Facebook just runs through your budget. So I usually make my decisions like around 7 o'clock in the morning. I typically get up to look at Facebook ads to determine what I'm going to do for the day on Facebook, and then I make my changes accordingly. So this is again, if you're not on Pacific Standard Time, you want to, if you're going to ever get advanced with Facebook, you want to start setting your alarm clock to be up around 7 o'clock in the morning to make your changes, and then you can go back to sleep or go do whatever you're going to do for the rest of the day afterwards. But again, if you're going to be serious about Facebook, the prime time to get your ad adjustments done is before 8 o'clock in the morning. That way, Facebook has the entire day to go through your budget and make those changes accordingly. So again, I wake up around 6:30, 7 o'clock to make my adjustments, and then I typically go back to sleep because I don't like getting up that early. But again, I've trained myself to start getting up at around 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I can make the adjustments on Facebook, and then I go back to sleep. It's Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, Facebook is in uh, Palo Alto, California, so it's Pacific Standard Time. But as you can see, again, yesterday we were at somewhere around 1,700 leads. Today we're only around 1,200. I think this far in the webinar we're around like 1,500 leads. Again, so not a super amount, like a huge difference, but again, that $10 in budget uh, is almost responsible for like 300, 400 leads, um, right? Just having that extra $10. And that's crazy, and that's super crazy. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions? All right. Julio, who's one of the clients who's taking this course, he sent me an email today to ask a couple questions about certain things that I said yesterday. So I want to clear up again. I was being a little facetious in the sense of like you can't ever log into your Facebook account anywhere else outside of the IP that you use. I traditionally try not to, right? So again, obviously, if it happens once or twice, it shouldn't have anything to do with your Facebook account uh, being in jeopardy of getting banned or anything like that. But again, you do typically want to try to do all your Facebook adjustments and changes from the same IP address. That's going to give you the best success. That's going to help you in the long run, right? So again, it's not a rule of thumb that you can't ever log in from somewhere else. I just personally, from my own paranoia uh, and things that I've read online about Facebook, I try not to, right? So again, it doesn't mean you can't. It just means that I try not to, right? So I'm only going to teach you what I do. I'm not teaching theory. I'm teaching what works. As you guys can see, my numbers are in front of your face, right? Um, I mean, so far, I've spent close to $1,500 on this campaign, and again, almost $5,000 in income. It'll be $5,000 in income tomorrow, and that's just from this one main particular offer. Again, I've promoted other offers in other networks that accounted for almost like another 1,500 or $1,600 or so from this campaign. So again, I'm showing you guys what really works in the real world, stuff that I'm actually doing. Cool. Any other questions? As I drink my Red Bull poison. Hudson says scholarship seems to do best with your audience. Yeah, it does. It does well. So what I've done now is I've applied to networks that primarily focus on scholarship offers to promote more scholarship offers on the back end that pay like $26 a lead, $30 a lead, $40 a lead. Um, Again, so if my leads are converting on scholarship offer for $4, $5, uh, I'm also going to start testing offers that pay a little bit more per lead, right? $26, uh, $30, $40 a lead for the scholarship offer. And these. I mean, I guess maybe to some people this might seem impressive. I mean, I have friends who do 5K a day on this offer. So I mean, I'm doing it's small time. I have friends who are doing $5,000 a day on this offer. So yeah, so they're doing this number. They're getting 1,000 conversions a day, as I'm getting 1,000 conversions a month on this offer. They're getting 1,000 conversions a day. So again, everything is relative. You know, don't think this is the top of the mountain. There's plenty of room to go farther than what I'm sharing with you guys right now. Cool. Was this helpful today? Hudson says, "Does your audience convert on paid offers?" Yeah, we've already talked about that. I promote health offers to them as well. You know, all the health offers are paid offers. So Hudson says, but conversion is lower. Yeah, conversion is going to be lower on any paid offer. I mean, most paid offers only going to convert at, I mean, the highest, what, 10% at the highest? So of course they're going to convert lower than a lead generation offer. Right, so at the top of the top, I mean, you're getting the best quality traffic out there. I mean, at the end of the day, the offer is only going to convert like 10% at the highest possible realm of conversion on a trial offer, right? I mean, it's still doing volume. Um, so, I mean, typically most trials are going to convert at 2 to 4%. So, yeah, of course, the conversion lower rates are going to be lower on a paid offer. But again, I mean, obviously you make up for that with the price, right? I mean, what you actually get paid out. So this is offers paying out $4 for the lead. Um, when you pay a promoted paid offer, you're typically getting anywhere from 30 to 50, $60 a sale, right? So like um, in Max Bounty, there's an offer I've promoted to the leads where I'm getting $60 for a trial sale, right? So as you can see, month to date earnings about $1,000, and again, these are paid offers to the same list. All right. Any last questions? Roy says this may be a stupid question, but any tips over getting over the analysis stage and actually doing the work? Yeah. So Roy, this is something that everyone in my mastermind group does. Um, let's say that we say that we're gonna put up an ad or we're gonna do some type of performance by a specific time frame, and we don't do that. We set up rules with the accountability partner in our mastermind, and we might have to pay like $50 to $100. So let's just say like if I say I'm gonna put up a Facebook ad by Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I tell my accountability partner that, and if I don't have that done, I have to send them $100 or $200 or $500. So again, that's the best way to get off your butt and actually do it is setting up some type of financial goal, and that could be sending me the money, right? I'll take the money. Um, I mean, it could be like $50 or something, where if you don't perform a specific action by a specific date, send me $50, right? Um, that's how we do it in my mastermind group. When we don't perform something, it's typically anywhere from $100 to $500 that you have to send to your accountability partner for not doing it. Yeah, Hudson says we should do that in our group. Yep, we should again. Yeah. So again, I mean, thinking about it, it's anywhere from $100 to $500 every time you don't perform something. Then you're always going to be performing, right? And that's usually per day. So again, like let's say if I say I'm going to set up an ad by Tuesday and I don't set it up, uh, if Thursday comes around, I don't have it up. I mean, I've lost anywhere from 200 to $1,000 for not doing it. Yep. Or you could just pay me to do it for you. I can set up your ads account, get you 10,000 leads in a month. My service starts at $2,000 plus ad spend. Cool. Any other question? That was a good question, though, boy. Let me know if you need my PayPal address. Let me know if you need my PayPal address. But again, the thing you always have to think about is I learned this in 12th grade economics, right? It's something called opportunity cost, right? How much is this by you not setting this ad up today, by you not taking action? How much is that really costing you, right? So let's just say again, let's say you had the same amount of success, that everything is equal. You had the same amount of success that I did. You made $5,000 a month doing this, right? Let's say you get this information, you don't do shit with it, right? You don't do anything with it. Um, so next month you don't make $5,000. How much is that? How much is that really costing you, right? What could you have done with that extra $5,000, right? Could you have started a business? Could you have taken that $5,000 and gone out and get more traffic? And basically, what if you're still getting the same type of return on investment? Could you have turned that $5,000 into $25,000 or $10,000 or $15,000? And if you could have, what would you do with that money? What would you have done with that $15,000? You know, what other opportunities are you missing out by not taking action? That's what you really have to do. Well, that's what you have to weigh um, every time you don't take action. It's like, what is this opportunity really costing me, right? And it's sure going to be a lot more than the the $50 or $100 or whatever parameter you set up with your accountability partner. So number one thing I recommend everyone doing is having someone else to be accountable to, right? Because again, if it's just about you, then you could do this or you cannot do this, right? One of my mentors always, again, if you don't have never got the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, I recommend that you get it, right? I got to meet Jeff like 4 or 5 times, and his book totally changed the way I think about life and business. It's basically doing a few simple activities every single day, and over time those things compound into something great and extraordinary, right? But like at the same time, he talks about in his book like all of these stuff like making $1 million or making at the time he was building $1 billion companies, right? He would say the steps to building $1 billion company are easy, but because they're easy to do, they're also easy not to do, right? Like you guys have seen me set up an ad before, right? It's easy to set up an ad, right? But it's also because it's so easy to set up an ad and it's also easy to make money. It's also easy not to do, right? There's nothing that's gonna make you do it, right? But yourself. So Roy says, I spent a lot of money in the past and made zero. So I think the thing for me is mindset, right? Well, get over it. Stop being. I almost got colorful. But you probably understand what I'm gonna say. Stop being a punk, right? You spend money, you make zero. Did you have someone to help you do this? Did you have someone to show you their live campaigns? Did you have someone maybe walk you through the process of doing it before? Right? Probably not. Again, if you fail before online marketing before coming to this course, it's probably not your fault, right? Because there's a lot of guys who sell shit online that doesn't work, right? They don't actually make money from the processes that they do, right? From the process that they sell. And the only reason why they sell you the stuff that they sell is because they know that you will buy it and that you will believe them, right? While they secretly make money from a different strategy, right? You can see where my traffic is coming from. You can see that the leads are coming to my account. You can see what I'm doing, that there's nothing phony about what I'm doing. Like, let's see if I go to my Aweber account, right? I go to subscribers, right? I'm logged in real time, right? Let's show you something. If I click on this lead right here who just subscribed right now at this minute, I click on this link, you can see that this person is coming in from my lead pages lead account, right? So when they actually go to lead pages, which I'll pull up, right? So they're opting into one of these lead pages, right? One of these lead pages. So let's just view the page. Right? So as we can see, like this is the same lead form, right? So it's the same lead form. You can see that I'm actually doing what I'm teaching you, right? There's no funny business. So again, if you fell before you invested money, again, um, there's only two real reasons why people invest money in traffic and lose money. Number one, they don't understand their market. Number two, they don't understand business in the sense of marketing and back end monetization, right? Monetization is an art form. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk about as far as monetization. It wouldn't fit the confines of this course, but again, it's like stop buying BS courses, right? Again, I appreciate you guys joining this course. Again, a lot of those you're gonna get on the Warrior Forum and you're gonna get those like $7 courses, and they're just gonna teach you BS. They're not gonna teach you what really works because they don't really know. They make their money from selling WSOs. They don't make their money from actually doing real marketing, right? If they stop selling WSOs, they're not gonna be able to pay their rent next month, right? Their mom is gonna kick them out the basement that they're living in, right? That's real talk. So Hudson says, what's the name of the book again? It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Yeah. So, Roy, what have you? Do you have a mic, Roy? All right. Gonna unmute you real quick. I think I can unmute you. All right. So it says you can't be unmuted until you enter your PIN number. Audio PIN #61#. So unmute yourself. It's #61# to unmute yourself. Let's let's talk about your ads. All right, Roy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's going on, brother?
Well, no, I've done no ads. Just like my first question, how do you get out of the analysis paralysis phase and move on? I've spent a bunch of money in the past, a lot more complex than this, where you have to create your own product and all that kind of stuff. So I feel a lot more positive about this. It's just get off the rear end and actually do the work, I think, is the issue.
Yeah. So what, as far as like paid advertising, what kind of paid advertising have you done before?
Bing.
Okay, that's the only strategy.
That's the only paid advertising. I did a lot of SEO years and years and years ago, but
Okay.
Bing is just for paid. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long ago was it when you bought a Beam training?
It was 2 years ago. I actually had a coach that I was working with, and we decided on a market, and it ended up that, um, the Bing ads were actually bringing in people, opting in at a pretty high rate, good click-throughs, and stuff like that. It's just, it seemed like the market, there was so much free information out there that they didn't have to spend any money. So basically, that was probably the case of not really understanding the market.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like primarily what I was addressing is that uh there's really only two there's three real reasons why people don't make money with advertising. Is number one, again, it's like not understanding the audience, where you're saying like you pick the market where they thought they can get stuff for free, so there's no point in them actually spending money. So number one, knowing understanding your audience. Number two, is messaging, like you're saying the wrong thing to the right people. The way that you're conveying the message is wrong. Um, and then the number three for me, the biggest thing that makes a difference if I make money on an ad is understanding not having the business to support my ad spend, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say that again you're
Gotcha.
using pay per click advertising to drive traffic to your funnel. Most people like they have like one offer to promote, and like that's it. Like that's all the only way that they make money. So if that offer doesn't convert for any reason, um, they get stuck, and now they're spending money every single day, and then they cut off their ads prematurely before they actually found what will work, or if the market is viable enough, because they didn't have the business model or the back end to support their ad spend. So right, if you were making money every single day from your ad campaigns, then I'm sure obviously you probably would still be running that campaign, right? So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is most people don't really truly understand like the monetization part of the business having a properly fully supported funnel that's going to support your ad spend. So again, like for me, like again, there's a whole lot more that I can actually do with this campaign as far as monetization. Um, However, again, because I'm profiting day one, like I mean, it's not necessarily something that again, like I have other campaigns that are doing better than this. So this is like free money. It's not again. I can maximize this so much more, but again, it's like just passive income that's coming in every single day. But traditionally, for most people, again, they're not able to acquire leads for the rate that I'm acquiring leads for. And even if they are acquiring it for more, again, they don't really understand the monetization process uh, well enough to support their actual lead generation campaign, right? So again, when you have those factors in place, then again, like paid traffic is not it's not like an issue. It starts to become people look at the equation wrong. One of my mentors would always tell me, paid traffic is free traffic if you make it free, right? Because again, if you have the business constraints uh, dialed in enough, you can make your paid advertising free, where you're actually profiting from every lead that you get. So it's not you're not looking at it as an expense. So for me, for this campaign, again, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of every lead that I get, I'm making money on them. I'm not paying or investing in ads. I'm profiting because I'm using this arbitrage system. So that's where you eventually want to get into. And again, we could talk about monetization later because it doesn't necessarily fit the confines of. I mean, unless everybody wants to talk about monetization, we could talk about that in another uh, webinar. But again, I mean, because it doesn't traditionally fit the confines of what we're talking about per se right now as it pertains to Facebook. But again, it's really like truly understanding um, what a lead is worth and trying your best to, um, in a positive way, extract as much money out of the lead as possible by promoting things that complement each other, and then also complement the user's experience, what they actually need to advance in the market, right? So again, for my market that I'm marketing to right now, these women want to grow their hair, right? And the way that they do that, again, I'm not going to go into, this is not going to be a beauty class, but again, that's number one by having like the proper vitamins and essentials in their daily diet, right? So having a healthier lifestyle will actually help them do that. So again, so the things that I'm going to promote to them are going to be weight loss related, supplement related. That's going to help them support like their dietary needs to actually make their like hair growing process actually a reality for them, right? So weight loss, fat loss, uh, the vitamins that actually help them, shampoos, different stuff like that that I can be affiliate for, um, that stuff that they need, right? So it doesn't seem like I'm pitching them because I'm actually providing stuff that they actually need to make this stuff come true. So they're gonna buy at a higher rate and not feel like that I'm pushing something on them just to be pushing it on them, right? So that's where you kind of like want to think about it, that you're actually being like a paid advisor. So you're a wanted guest and not an unwanted pest, right? So that's basically the framing that you want to think about it from. And most affiliates, online marketers are thinking from the standpoint of like, how the fuck do I get paid? Like, how do I make money from this niche? How do I like extract as much money as possible? Which again, obviously, you do want to extract as much money out of as possible because it is a business. But at the same time, if you can do it in a positive way, you're actually going to actually end up making more money in the long run, as opposed to thinking just what can I pitch, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
For sure.
So I think your first comment was probably right on. Just get over it. This is an entrepreneurial kind of a deal. There's not 100%, but just do it and track things and adapt and just make it work.
Right. Exactly.
Thanks.
Exactly. You're welcome, brother. Where are you from, by the way?
Out of the Bay Area, San Francisco area.
Bay Area. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I lived in Northern California for a year. I lived in Davis for a year, so it was a unique experience.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, about an hour from there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Nice. Golden State Warriors kicking butt right now. For sure. So do we have any other questions? Any concerns? Any thoughts? Anybody else need a mental butt kicking as well? All right, questions going once,